What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and we are over at the Parish Bonfire. As I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, you didn't stop the last episode here. Just as a reminder, after the last episode, we left Blighttown, took the water wheel all the way up to Firelink, and then from Firelink, we took the elevator to pop out there in the Undead Parish, and then came over here, and we're now at the bonfire. I'm assuming by this point you can find your way over here on your own, me having told you how to get here. So, Sen's Fortress is that way if you want to go. I wouldn't recommend it right now, because we're going to go knock out Mr. Sif. Anyway, head on over here. You can go ahead and give him the Divine Ember if you want. You can give it to whatever blacksmith you want, really, but I just give it to Andre. Go ahead and purchase the Crest of Artorias. 20,000 freaking souls! I hate giving away all those souls, but it had to be done. Additionally, I think I'm going to buy some arrows, you know? I think some standard arrows. Oh, that's a lot. How many large? Get man's got to have arrows, you know? If you don't have arrows, you're just like, what? Why don't you have these? So go ahead and buy some arrows, and then while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce the longbow a little bit.
Don't get yourself killed.
Alright. So at this point, actually real fast while we're on the topic, since you do need 20,000 souls, if you are short on funds, which you shouldn't be, because we just killed a boss and got a bunch, you can go right to the entrance of Sen's Fortress here, and there's some snake people. They'll hit really hard, but they're worth 500 souls a pop, and the bonfire is really close here, so this is a great place to farm. There's also a little trick you can do. You can see this plate right here. It's actually a trap, so what you do is you sneak past that, move forward a little bit. Come on along. Snake people will come. You'll see the trap almost killed that one snake completely for us. Oh man, you can see just how hard these guys hit. The trap will do a lot of damage. If you get them grouped up here, the jump heavy attack strategy works well. But the big thing is, you know, even if you die here, the bonfire is literally right there. So while it may take a while, if you don't have the 20,000 souls you need, now is a good spot to address that. Additionally, while we're here, by this point in the game, you should be able to take on the Titanite Demon. Give him a couple whacks. If you have trouble with him, don't worry about it. And something important to note with the Titanite Demons is there's a couple of these guys throughout the game. There's not really much to look out for. They have one attack where they'll grab you with the catch pole and do a bunch of damage to you with it. That's all you really need to look out for, but these Titanite Demons get stronger. Each time you kill a Titanite Demon, the next one is going to be more powerful, so something to keep in mind. They're not all going to be as easy as that one. Anyway, from here, we're going to haul ass on through the forest. Gotta love that plus 10 weapon, just one-shotting these things. I'd actually... I guess why not, we'll just kill them. They're easy souls at this point. Takes a second of our time. So you're going to want to go ahead and rest at this bonfire up here. This is going to be the closest bonfire to the boss. And on top of that, I will say this boss can be fairly difficult. So one thing you might want to do is actually kindle this bonfire. To be honest, kindling is anytime you're about to face kind of a harder challenge, kindling is probably worth it. It'll just make it so that we get 10 Estus when we rest here as opposed to 5. Later on in the game, we'll get an item that will allow us to kindle the bonfires even further, but for the time being, I honestly don't feel it's really necessary. So we're going to be aiming to get that a little bit later after we have the ability to fast travel between bonfires. So once we open the door, we are now in the forest, and the thing with the forest is there are a bunch of invisible enemies here. In addition to that, this is a huge PvP hotspot. So if you're online, you're probably going to get invaded. So what you're going to want to do is haul ass. Just haul ass as fast as you can. Kind of stay to the left here. Just run. See, I already got some people chasing me. Run, 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 run. And you can see that archway, and that's what we're trying to reach. Don't run out of stamina. Let it replenish a little bit. Run, 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 run. Boom.
Is it not so that thou art new?
This is Alvina.
Thou fared well to find me, but
She's a
cometh thee
cat.
not for the grave of Sir Artorias? My lecture.
Anyway,
Well, I
tell her yes, yes. Join the Covenant, and now you're a forest hunter.
and here.
So if you put on the ring, it will basically allow you to get summoned if there are people invading the forest. The main reason that we sprint over here and join the forest is, as you can see, that people will no longer attack us. Now, there are a number of different NPCs here in the forest with some pretty awesome stuff. Namely, probably one of the more important ones is our dude right here, Shiva of the East. Now, Shiva of the East has the Murakuma, that big-ass sword right there. It is a dexterity-based curved sword. It is very, very popular. It's also very strong. There are two ways to get this. It can be dropped from the giant skeletons, which are pretty late in the game, or you can kill this guy for it. Now, if you're going to kill him, you don't want to do it right now. We're going to wait and do that a little bit later. Additionally, he has a ninja buddy with him. It's kind of hard to see. The ninja guy has the flippy ring. What I mean by that is if you have fast rolls, well, when I was naked, you saw me rolling really fast. If you have his ring on, which we are going to get later, it'll allow you to basically do like cartwheels. So you do get more iframes during the cartwheels as well as cover a greater distance. Since we are here right now, I want to point out that if you want to go all the way back down to Blighttown, back where the cartwheel was and all that stuff, Shiva will be waiting there as a merchant. And he actually has some really, really cool weapons, as well as the Look Skyward gesture. After we get the ability to warp, we're going to go down and talk to him then. I'll show you his inventory, get the gesture, kill him, acquire the Murakumo. But for now, at least, it's just good that he's on our side, so we'll just leave it at that. So anyway, from here, we're basically going to just go diagonally across the forest, just like this. And you'll see a lot of glows, but in particular, we're looking for a shiny. And that shiny is Shiva's set. And you'll know you found it because there'll be a bunch of pissed off trees that are guarding it. That's it right there. But as vast as this forest is, there's literally nothing else here. There are trees and Shiva's set, and that's it. But it is rather large, and that's why it's such a popular spot for PvP. Like, if you're interested in, PvP or invading, this is the place to be. The Forest Covenant is, hands down, like, the go-to hotspot. And I also want to point out that you'll notice the trees here are significantly stronger than the other trees. We're not just, instantly one-shotting these things anymore. These are some beefy trees now. Most of them taking 2 hits, sometimes 3 to kill. So just keep that in mind, it's not gonna, these aren't your grandpappy's pushover trees. Thankfully, they have shit for poise. Oh my god, they hurt so bad. Thankfully, they're not going verticality. I also want to point out that it's bullshit. That tree just hit me through the tree. They get like weird tree fusion immunity. People. So after you have battled off the literal army of trees, go ahead and grab the Eastern set. It's not the best set, more than anything, it just kind of looks good. The stats, just to compare it to the Elite Knight. See, they're pretty good. Poise is about the same, higher defense, does weigh a little bit more. Aside from that, the rest of the set, not so hot, but I'll tell you what, man, it does, the Shiva set looks good. See, the gloves aren't as good, and then the legs, while they do look much better, aren't as good as well. But if we're just looking to stack armor for now, this is the way to go. Anyway, from here, we're going to go kind of back the way we came. More trees you're going to have to fight. This is why I love shields. So as we make our way back towards the building, we'll find this path. We're going to take this on down. At this point, no more trees. We're going to go all the way to this first ladder. Take this down, and we're going to run over there to grab a soul item. If you were to go this way, real fast, just to kind of put the world in perspective. That bridge over there, across this ladder right here, and that's the basin where we fought the Hydra. So, now you know where we're at. And this is what I was referring to earlier when I said you can skip spending the 20,000 souls. And you can still do that. You know, you can come from this route, come up the ladder, and then take the route I'm about to take to reach the boss. However, in doing that, the closest bonfire you have is the one all the way down by the cave, the one that we used when we were fighting the Hydra. So it is a rather lengthy run and something to consider. But anyway, I'm going to get the soul item, cross the bridge, and now we're going to fight some cats. And I'm saying cats with air quotes because the big versions of these sure as hell don't look like cats. We're going to run out a little bit, get the angry kitty to come. They're like it's like a cat and a wolverine and a hedgehog had a baby together. As long as you stay right here in the trees, you are safe. So a strategy is to basically bait the cat over and then boot it. And I wouldn't just say a strategy, I'd say that's the recommendation. Trying to fight these things out in the open, man. They can do monstrous damage to you. You might be like, oh, that wasn't too bad. Except that's where you're wrong, friend. Because there's 2 more cats that are coming in. Same as before, lure the kitties on back. Big thing is watching out for the rolly attack. If this seems like it's cheesy, that's because it is. But to be honest, I'm not putting up with the bullshit from these cats. Let's see that one hit took out like 1/5 of my health bar. Cats are no joke. Thankfully, these cats are a one-time spawn, so after killing all 3, you're set. Here, we head on down into the forest again. Grab the large soul of a brave warrior. And at this point, take this. Notice over there is a bridge. That will lead you to the boss. If we go left, it'll lead us back towards the Covenant folks. But we're actually going to go towards the Covenant folks. We're not completely done here just yet. We can see there's a bunch of little mushroom people hanging around. In particular, these two big dudes. Now, I'd say one of the most popular gifts of the original Dark Souls are these things. It's somebody getting hit by them. And as you can see, they hit like trucks. Do not underestimate the mushroom people. They hit very hard. You can see it's pretty hard to stagger them as well. Oh wow, I don't know how that attack whiffed, but I will take it. See, they also pivot on a dime. They will absolutely destroy the stamina of your shield. Ooh, baby, gold pine resin. Thank you. Alright, and this is what we really want, is this chest. Ugh. I got it open, though. I'll take my 2 hits and be on my way. But basically, all you can do is like hit twice, repeat back out. The big ones don't respawn. Oh my god. Why are you so mean? Pine resin. So from here, instead of going to the boss, oh, got a little misdirected here, we actually are going to head back towards the Covenant. So there's the fog for the boss. We're just going to go this way. See the broken down castle type structure here. If we go around this, ta-da! Full stone set. So at this point in the game, the stone armor will offer you the most defense out of any of the armors you've found. It also comes with an absolutely staggering weight requirement. So basically, unless you have been just pumping the shit out of stamina, and you're using FAP and Havel, you're not going to use that armor. It's good armor, like it's good, it's just, it's super fucking heavy. So anyway, at this point we are ready to go fight the boss, but before that we're going to want to go back, rest at the bonfire, spend any souls we have, as well as top off our Estus flasks. Now the next boss is going to be Sif. Sif is Artorias' companion, and I think one thing worth pointing out is that if you want to get an alternative cutscene, you can actually do the DLC before you fight Sif. You have to fight Sif to get the Covenant of the Abyss to be able to fight the Four Kings, which you need them before you can make your way to Gwyn. However, if you don't want to fight Sif right now and don't do an Orlando and want to get all the way to the Crystal Archives and gain access to the DLC, and you fight Artorias first, there is an alternative cutscene that you can get when you're doing this boss. So it is something to keep in mind. It's actually a really cool cutscene. However, it's a huge pain in the ass to, you're just skipping this, skipping New Londo, going all the way through stuff. It's, that's a lot of work just to come back here and fight this boss later. But the cutscene is definitely worth checking out, in my opinion, especially as you kind of fall in love with the game. these on. This boss in particular is weak to bleed and fire. I only have a single charcoal pine resin, so I'm going to end up using some of the lightning. It's not necessarily bad to use lightning, it's just that fire is better in terms of beating his resistances. And actually, I'm going to use up some souls. And while we're on the topic of souls, let's talk about that other boss soul that we picked up in the previous episode. So the Soul of Quelaag, actually pretty good one in terms of use. You can craft either the Chaos Blade, which is a very, very potent katana, or alternatively you can contract. Alternatively, you can craft Quelaag's Fury Sword. The Fury Sword's actually really badass. It's a curved sword, dexterity-based focus, but it also scales off of your humanity. So it has some fire damage worked into it, has some regular damage worked into it, and then you get a bonus damage for having humanity. But all in all, definitely a really powerful weapon. As I mentioned, the Chaos Blade is considered by many to be the best katana in the game. Because of how powerful it is, you actually lose health as you continue to attack with it. So it is a potent weapon for certain, however, it does not come without drawbacks. And then let me... Yes! Fuck yes, dude! Black Knight, Greatsword. I'm gonna have to get my stamina up to use this thing properly. Look at this. 1 swing, 2 swings, roll. Also want to upgrade it, but we have met the requirements. So badass. Can't wait to start rocking that. Probably next episode. Anyway, moving on from here though, we've used our souls. We are ready to fight the boss. Let's move on forward. So as for the strategy, Sif jumps around a lot. Up until now, he is hands down the hardest boss we will have fought up to this point in the series, bar none. He makes every other boss we fought kind of look like a joke in comparison. He is very mobile, he jumps around a lot, he can do a lot of damage. To be honest, either you need to have excellent timing on your rolls, or alternatively, you need to have a big boy beefy shield. In particular, the stat you're going to want to look for is stability. As you can see, we got 62 stability here. Great shields are great because they have 70 stability, but something like this, 55, 48, 51, 56, it's not going to really make the cut. I may actually swap from the Black Knight shield to the Eagle shield here just for the extra stability it's going to provide, but we'll see how things go. Aside from that, probably the best advice I can give is to roll towards the boss, trying to roll away from Sif, and basically approaching this fight defensively and like trying to roll away and get healed up. It's not going to work out in your favor. Sif will win every time. You need to kind of roll into him and get under him and just be very aggressive, and you know, even then it's a hard battle. If you're playing as a pyromancer, you'll be able to cook him pretty easily due to his fire weakness, but other than that, this is very much kind of a get good fight. It is quite difficult. Yep, that attack hurts. Really a sad fight because, you know, you're killing the puppers. Okay, so do not have enough stability on that shield. Oop, this is gonna hurt. I have to go for the roll strat. particular, the double slash she does is probably the most dangerous one, because it can do so much damage and just break through your stability. As you can see, if I'm going to heal, I'm going to roll into him first and then heal. That's going to be the safest way to proceed. Every time he's going to swing, I'll roll into him, and then from there, I'll try and start doing damage. Kind of notice there's a method to his madness. You know, that's going to be a single slash. If he comes going left to right, he's going to do the double slash. You know, so the more you fight him, the more you'll get used to knowing the roll timing and whatnot. But you know, trying to block. Honestly, Great Shield is the best bet here. You know, because the shield I have is some of the highest stability on the game for a regular shield, and it wasn't enough to stop him. Stay calm, get inside, and sadly, kill a puppy. Sorry, Sith. After that, get the Hornet Ring, a disgustingly powerful item. The Hornet Ring will boost the potency of your backstabs, making you hit like a fucking truck. If you've ever done PvP and someone parries you and then one-shots you, it's because they were using a Hornet Ring. But with Sif defeated, go ahead, take your homeward bone, go back to the bonfire. We're going to spend the souls we just got, level on up, and then we are going to be heading on in to Sen's Fortress.